No. I disagree with Rudy. I disagree with Louis on this one. Fake Rudy.
Well, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to episode 46 of Metazoo Be With You. This one was filmed on Saturday last week. I'm on vacation with my family. I'm actually flying back on Friday morning when you're watching this. So hope you enjoyed the episode. We're going to talk a lot about Rudy's conversation on Fab 2.0. We talk a little bit about Grid is Great. We talk about Metazoo. It's a great episode. George and I hanging out and chatting about our thoughts on all the things Flesh and Blood over the last couple weeks, as well as TCGs. Next week, we'll roll into a lot of the news that has happened in the Magic the Gathering world this week with the print run increases, the cost increases and all that stuff. Lots of things to talk about. Hope you have yourself a great day. Be kind to the people around you and enjoy the episode.
Whoa. Welcome to Metazoo Be With You After Dark. I am joined by the man, Snoop Doggy Dogg's best friend, hanging out with him in 6 hours on the west side.
Nobody knows what you're talking about. And I'm joined by George from Compete Sports, America's greatest LGS. I'll just give it to you.
Other than Bill.
You beat Bill. You got him. Congratulations.
Got you, Bill.
Yeah, I get to decide, and this week you're my favorite. Yeah, this is today is Saturday.
Yes, we are filming this as early as humanly possible.
Saturday, 6 days before we post this episode. So I'm sure a lot of things may have happened in the TCG world, but I don't know about them right now. So
I will live tweet them in Louis' Discord, give him $5, and you can see my random thoughts throughout the week.
I don't think you understand Twitter, but that's today we're going to be talking a lot about the Rudy Fab 2.0 video. So we figured we could go ahead and pre-record this, and I am going to be visiting my sister this week. So I will be on a flight back while everyone's listening to this. You can leave a, hey, have a good flight, Louis, in the comment section and for the algorithm. Yeah.
Just leave George's goat. That's all you should be typing. Continue, Louis.
Thank you. So we're going to talk about the Rudy stuff. We're going to talk about the community's response to Fab 2.0. We're going to talk about Grid is Great, our new section that's going to be talking about grid-based games. We're going to talk about new Capenna and Quad Masters from Magic the Gathering. And then we're going to talk about skateboarding to George's Metazoo event. So part one, Dr. Rudy Esquire, which I just learned while I was typing this from you, that means that it's a doctor and a lawyer. So you learn something every time you watch this podcast. We provide news for you, things that you can learn and take into your everyday life. So we're providing value.
That learn to read book really came in handy for you this week. That's what I just took away from this conversation.
Yes.
Yeah. That really worked out well for you. I'm proud of you, buddy.
Yeah.
Hooked on phonics.
All right, let's start. I want to start here. What was your initial reaction to Rudy's video?
Sad.
Yeah.
Sad. Easy. That was easy. The brother looked like he was going to cry.
I'll write held back tears. It's an Office quote. Yeah, for sure. I would say for me that was I would say the same word. Like I've been bummed all day because of Rudy's video. I think
so. Let's break it down.
Let me finish. I think I've been bummed because it confirmed for me everything that we've been saying. Like it confirmed so many of the things for me. To hear them from somebody else finally, I think for me was really it was like mixed emotions. It was kind of like, okay, yeah, we've been talking about this and like now finally somebody else is really talking about it. And so it confirmed for me a lot of those emotions that I've had this past year, and frustration as a business owner and frustration as an LGS owner. It confirmed a lot of those things. So for me, like it just brought that to real life, hearing somebody else talk about it and not me.
Yeah. I mean, like,
more importantly, not you, you're the FUD master flex, of course. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Rude. We've been beating this drum of, hey, distribution is really the problem for 9 months.
Yeah.
And like, listen, like, I think it's fair to say we've gotten our fair share of hate for that. Mainly me, but sometimes it crossed over to you.
I hate you.
That's actually not true. Like, Louis got more hate than I got, which is only unfair because he's way more sensitive. He actually cares if you talk bad about him.
That's why I get the hate.
I know
people like to know that they hurt people, and I was hurt. So
Yeah, I don't care what idiots think about me because I think they're idiots. No. And hold on. And like we beat that drum because it was the most glaring threat to a game we love.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't think the idiots understood. It was the clearest threat to the game. And frankly, this is everything I feared. This was exactly what I feared, that the number was going to be bigger than people anticipated. And people are going to feel even more burned after the fact than before it, because of the actions of one distributor in particular and Channel Fireball.
Yeah. I think I don't want this to come across as like us saying we told you so. That's not the intention.
I wanted to come across as that exactly from my end. Let me be very clear here. Continue.
From my end, it's more of like you talk about things so much. We talk about things so much, and I think the average viewer doesn't fully grasp how big of a issue it is. And like hearing Rudy talk about it for me was kind of like no, like you guys aren't full of crap. Like everything we've been saying has merit and we've gotten some things wrong. Let's not pretend like we've been perfect. We've certainly gotten some things wrong. But like the majority of what we said and the biggest things of what we said have been right. And like to me personally as a content creator, it sometimes felt like it was like I don't know. It just felt right.
You were stranded on an island. You got booted out of the content creator program.
Right.
I mean, you were kicked out of the family.
Right. So for me, it was like hearing him, and really, I mean, his emotions are his body language is what I have been feeling for the last year. His body language in that video, and I try to make content that's like, hey, be kind to people, but like in the inside, I'm like, no, the freaking Channel Fireball it's burning the ship down, and like. So for me, like that was the encapsulation, the embodiment of how I felt.
It was very weird to me, because I felt like Rudy was going through what I went through a little while ago with Flesh and Blood. And that was a really weird thing to watch. It was this sense of like, oh, I got betrayed in some way. Rudy... I started carrying Fab 3 weeks before Rudy, maybe a month or so before Rudy talked about it. And Rudy was very early. Yeah. Rudy was like, you can criticize Rudy for a lot of things about Fab. He was early and he believed fully.
Well, he also said in the video that he had been talking to LSS a year before his first video or something. A lot. I don't want to get like misquoting. Like the heart of it was like
he seems to have been he certainly seems to have at least talked to them during the slingshot phase.
Right.
For those of you who are newer to Fab or don't know what the heck the slingshot phase is, that's the prototype phase, basically. And like, listen, like he, like I, didn't get what we thought we deserved on Monarch. And we could justify that in our heads because we're like, all these new stores want it. All these new people are coming out for it. And there's only 2x the boxes of Crucible. So like, of course, like we want to make sure these other stores are taken care of. But then it comes out, there's 3.3 times as many boxes. And it's like, wait a minute. I got screwed.
Right.
Like, how did Channel Fireball, Star City Games, and Team Covenant get, it sounds like way more boxes.
Well, we know how many boxes TC got refunded or got returned, which seems like it's like I don't remember exactly how many bundles. I think he said he had 2,000 bundles, something like that. Like I don't remember exactly, but it seems like that would be a considerable percentage of his thing that they got returned. And so like, I think like, man, I think I don't know. I don't want to get into Rudy's feelings, but for me, this video was like, man, like things were not, they were not what he thought they were. For me, it was like not even like the numbers, like that's between Rudy and LSS and all that stuff. For me, it was hearing a lot of the other just overall demeanor about the answers to some of the questions. And, a lot of it was like, yes, I understand their perspective, LSS's perspective, but it also felt like it was like, but we'll see how this works. Like, it seemed like they didn't do a lot of the things that Rudy suggested that they should do. Like, he obviously, has talked a lot about the first edition unlimited thing. And I think he would have wanted them to reduce the quantity of first edition. I'm paraphrasing based on his content that I watch. It seems like he wanted them to reduce the number of first edition boxes and put out unlimited at the same time or whatever. And so like, it seemed like he was like, well, not really listening to me, but I just have to trust that it will work. And like that's kind of the gut that I got from it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think he thinks that we're in for a bumpy ride. And then the question is, what happens in a year?
Yeah.
Like, he basically said, like, listen, some stores are going to drop this. And I can confirm one of my stores near me already decided they're going to drop it after this announcement. And a couple others I know are walking down that path. A lot of people ask me if I'm going to drop it. And I told them no. Like, my customers love it. My customers love the game. And that's what makes it hard. It's like the game is really good.
Mm-hmm.
There's some balance issues, there's some playtest issues, but like the game's good.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. I know that's what frustrates me. And I imagine that's what frustrates Rudy. Is like Rudy has been in the TCG space for 20 years. 20 plus years.
Yeah.
He knows a good game when he sees it.
Well,
but the question is like, I guess this feels like a big change in direction and I don't understand it. I'll be like, I thought about this a lot. Like Rudy was like, PvE is going to save this game. I know like Rudy is Dr. Taco Esquire and you are Dr. PvE Esquire. I don't get that. I don't get it. Like I am certainly willing to be proven wrong. I hope I am proven wrong. I don't understand why we built the game up as the most competitive TCG ever. And then we're going to say, oh, and we do PvE. That seems contradictory to me in some ways. Like I don't know many like highly competitive players who are going to want to do PvE.
It's not for them. Listen, like, you want to get into the PvE thing? Like the PvE thing for me is it definitely has to be really good. Like it can't be and this is I like what they've said is like we're working really hard on it, and I believe that if James White can create the mechanics that we've all fallen in love with, we've talked about balancing issues, and they've talked about because of COVID there are balancing issues. They've said that themselves. Because of the play testing with COVID and all that stuff. But like at the end of the day, I believe that James White created a really amazing system for Flesh and Blood. And you agree with that. And so if he has enough time, if he puts the energy into it, I believe he can create an amazing thing like that can fill that gap that is left that Commander has, right? Like you gotta get that Commander crowd. I don't know. It's like that's where my love for PvE comes, because I believe that they can do that and they can solve that. If they put the right amount of time to it.
I think they can make a good PvE. I don't know if they can make the market for PvE. That's my fear.
I think the market's it. Again, I don't know what they're doing.
How come no other game does this? How come no other TCG does this?
Depends what it is.
There's this incredible blue ocean of PvE. How come Magic's not working on it? How come Pokemon's not working on it? How come Goat's not working on it? How come Yu-Gi-Oh's not working on it? Like how I guess I don't like I don't
let's have a PvE discussion later. This is a whole bigger thing than Rudy's video. PvE, in my opinion, it has to be done right. I don't think it can just be a Dungeons and Dragons skin. Like that's to me that would be the worst. Is if it's just a Dungeons and Dragons skin, that's not going to be a win. But if it's something that actually provides a really cool experience for both a kitchen table play and something that you could go into compete sport, that you have some sort of exclusive kit for as an LGS, you have some sort of exclusive kit, just like the Armory kit that they have to come in to play at your store. I think it's a really great way. And this is the key for me. It's a great way to connect. I've said this since day one, that the average player of a TCG, I don't firmly believe that this is true for Flesh and Blood, but if you create a mode where you are playing at your kitchen table, the average player of Magic at the kitchen table never goes into an LGS. And Flesh and Blood is all for the LGS. So if they want to create a casual format, I think that they have to create a way that is moving it to the LGS. And so if you have some sort of like Armory kit type thing that is a PvE kit, like I think that can be a really big win. And that's why I hope they go with it.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk next week PvE episode.
Oh gosh. All right, I'll stack up. I'm gonna spend my entire time in California thinking about PvE now. Thanks for that. All right, let's talk. I want to talk one more. Definitely another thing I want to talk about.
I want to talk about a lot about Rudy. Go ahead, though.
There were a lot of things said via Rudy from James White.
Yes.
That
have not been confirmed anywhere but Rudy.
I just wish that a lot of those things were said from James White initially. Mainly, like for me, one of the things is like the Monarch thing, and like I feel like I got a little bit of sorry, not the Monarch, the
Everfest Unlimited.
Everfest Unlimited. I feel like I got a little bit like dissed on about like creating content about these things that aren't officially announced, but they're on the website. Like when something
I don't know how you would announce it more officially than putting it on the website.
And like, man, like it's just it's kind of like a lot of people have been talking about it, and like don't undermine those conversations and those people feeling, because it's like, I don't know, man, like that kind of stuff. I wish it was an official announcement, because not everybody watches Rudy V. I have been astonished this week at how many people on the Facebook are like, what video are you guys all talking about? What video are you guys all talking about? What do you, like, I've been astonished at that. So I want to hear that stuff from LSS, not from Rudy.
Yeah. So let me say a few things I agreed with Rudy on about the announcements, and that one I think is banana pants. Let me talk about that in 1 minute too. He said this was the best thing LSS ever wrote. I think we both agree with that.
Yes, 100%. I was just going to say that based on what I just said too. Like, yeah,
this is the best. Like the Fab 2.0 announcement was the best communication from LSS, I think, in company history.
100%.
This should be done every month.
I've been saying it. I said James White should have a blog called a development blog for Flesh and Blood that's just constantly updating the community what they're doing. They can use code names, they can do whatever, but constantly updating the community. The problem is I get the impression that the guy just doesn't have that much time for that. Like, I think that's the issue. Is like, well, like I know, but like everything that has come out this week about the play testing and about COVID and like, listen, like I get it, but I think that time is super valuable. And I think that this is where the scaling up
hire somebody. Exactly.
This is where the scaling up. I don't care if it's James White actually writing it, just ghostwrite it. No. I disagree with Rudy. I disagree with Louis on this one. Fake Rudy. Brendan actually said this on Brendan, shout out to Arsenal Pass, changed my view on this. Yeah.
Because if you would listen to other content creators, he said that.
I'm pretty sure I sent you this content.
You did send this content. That's absolutely accurate. I was waiting for you to call me out on it, I'll be honest. I don't listen to anybody. He said that the Starvo announcement sounds like it was not written by James White, and it added some confusion.
Interesting.
To the pro players.
Yeah.
And that strikes me as probably accurate, because it disagreed with some of what James White had said earlier.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean this, like, James White needs to find 2 hours a month to sit down and write down his thoughts on where Fab is.
Yeah.
That's it. Fair. He needs to find 2 hours. And, like, you can make mistakes. Mike makes mistakes sometimes on the AMA. He sometimes has to go back and correct himself. but we all forgive that and welcome that because he's communicating with us.
I don't think that's how that's how they're going to run their business. I agree with you. I think I hope that they change, but that's a big change. That's a big shift from the current. I hope so. I mean, I hope that they do that. I think it would be great for the community if they do it. I think it would bring a lot of confidence to the game and the market if they do it. But they like to keep things back. That's part of their DNA. But it's part of their DNA, man. Like you
got to change your DNA then. Like PvE is not part of their DNA. They're adding it. You can change your DNA as a company, and they need to.
Okay.
Like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, like I don't want to be mean about this, but we're not building nuclear bombs here. We're building a card game. Like, this isn't state secrets, man. You can share a little bit. It's all right. It's all right.
They did a little bit of that with the set release name, which is cool until they changed the name. This is like a Kingdoms part 2.
I still call your little one Little Kingdoms, though. Don't worry.
But I did a little bit. I would like to see that. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, that was definitely a thing, though. Like, hearing it from Rudy was fine. Like, I love Rudy. I watch all of Rudy's content. It doesn't bother me as an individual. But, like, things like there was a lot of things that were said via Rudy from James White that I was like, man, like, I wish he would have just said that.
Those are some big announcements.
Yeah. What? Like what?
Everfest Unlimited is maybe a fake thing that like might come out sometime in 2025. I mean, like,
yeah.
I like for those of you who didn't watch it.
What's the printer schedule for that?
I think it's already printed. It has to be.
I mean, September was the not announced. Sorry, don't want to misquote. That was the not announced release. But like,
it has to be already printed. It has to be.
I don't know. From Carter
like,
Monday,
they're just holding it back. They're holding it back. Yeah. And let me be very clear here. I support holding it back right now.
Burn it.
I think that's very wise.
Burn it.
Give it to Rudy with his next promo card.
Burn it with the Rudy promo card. I don't know. I don't know how much. Like, I don't know. Channel Fireball seems to have plenty of supply left, but
they have. I mean, like, distribution still has Everfest.
Not for low lifes like me, but
get better. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I mean, like, I think like that. I don't know, man. Like that. I'll be like of what Rudy shared. That was something that like kind of frustrated me because I'm like, just confirm it's coming out. Why put up a fake date? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and like I feel like the reason that he brought, which was to make it that he said so many stores were reaching out asking when Everfest Unlimited was coming that they went ahead and put it on the website as a placeholder as Everfest September, right? Everfest Unlimited September. Like, I feel like that would cause more people reaching out being like, what? Wait, when can I order this? Or, like, I don't want to do this, or I don't want to, like, do I have to take, like, I don't know. But
I agree. It's just weird.
And they didn't even like announce it. They just put it there. So it's not like people, I don't know. I guess people found it. So, yeah, it is weird. Definitely.
I don't know. Like my big takeaway from Rudy was I sensed he is anxious and sad. Like, I think he is feeling what I have felt, which is like, hey, like, I'm not sure LSS. I think LSS maybe did him a little bit dirty, to be candid. I don't think he got the same percentage increase as Channel Fireball, Star City Games, Team Covenant, or even TCG Player, frankly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that doesn't strike me as very fair.
It certainly doesn't seem that way based on the increase in kits.
Yeah, I mean, like, it doesn't strike me as fair that like Rudy should be taking care of all the big content creators and nonsense stuff that they give boxes to. Let's be clear here. Rudy has done a heck of a lot more for Flesh and Blood
than anybody.
Team Covenant or Channel Fireball, for sure, in my opinion.
I mean, at a global scale than anybody.
Absolutely. So, like, if Rudy wanted 10,000 boxes of Monarch, he could have gotten that.
So, like, the issue I think with that is like, imagine Fab without Rudy. Like it doesn't like, imagine Rudy was like, I'm out. It's over. It's like like the US market is would certainly collapse. And like, this is what I think people are like, oh, but the players would be really, yeah, but like, there's a lot of product going into collectors' hands still. I know that there's a lot. I know that players are the player growth since since Crucible has grown a lot. I completely agree. But like, the collectors are still absorbing a metric ton of product, and so the market would collapse in terms of like financial value of cards, which some people think are a good thing. Some people think that's a good thing. Singles. I think those people are wrong, but some people think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the other kind of big takeaway: it's the focus on the players. It felt like Rudy. Again, these are feelings. These are my takeaways from the video, not necessarily quotes, not whatever. It felt like Rudy felt like, is this going to be the end of the collectible side of things? And like, I tend to think like this will actually be good for pre-Monarch stuff.
Well, he said that too. In fairness,
did he say that? I don't remember. I don't know.
Yeah. He said like cold foils of the first 3 sets, holders of those.
Yeah.
Will come out ahead of this one if the game survives.
Yeah.
I kept uttering if the game survives, and I must say, that did not spark a lot of joy. Or he said like if the game's around.
And he kind of, I don't know, he kind of also shared a lot of frustration about this new product, the white border product, being like, is this really the right time for it? And it seemed like this is where I think there's a disconnect between what's happening and what they want to happen. Seemed like, based on what James White said through Rudy, is that what they want to happen is for stores who have never ordered product from Flesh and Blood to be able to get that product.
This is so. You're not gonna edit this, so I gotta be careful here. I need to find my zen before I say my next sentence. That is not how U.S. distribution works.
No,
that is not how U.S. distribution works.
We already saw. I didn't get this email, but we already saw an email floating around that was sent to a store that was basically like, because you've already carried Flesh and Blood, you're allocated this. This will be allocated to stores that already carry Flesh and Blood.
The U.S. distribution works where if you ordered a ton of Fab, you're going to get more Fab in the next set. That's true for every single game with every U.S. distributor. Yeah. You want a lot of Zoo, you have to have ordered a lot of Zoo before. You want a lot of Pokemon, you got to order a lot of Pokemon before. You want a lot of Magic, you got to order a lot of Magic before. You're not just going to be able to be like, oh, I went from 4 boxes to 400 boxes. That's not the way U.S. distribution works.
And sometimes they connect it. Sometimes they connect it to your other games. Like, for a while, my Fab allocation was connected to how much Magic I took. And for a while, my Metazoo allocation was initially based on how much Pokemon I took, until Mike, reached out and fixed that for me.
This is why big stores are big in everything, and Louis can't get boxes.
Other than Metazoo, which is great.
Yes, because of GOAT. But that's only because of GOAT. If GOAT did not exist,
right,
you'd get nothing.
Right.
This is part of me is just like, that is the way U.S. distribution works, and I don't think that's not gonna change right now. So you have 2 options. You either can accept that reality and be like, this product's going to go to a lot of the hands that I don't want it to, or you can do what Mike does and say, I'm going to oversee allocation.
Well, so my takeaway that I wanted to focus on is like, Rudy felt like this is not the right time for that product for the US. And again, I think this product is amazing. I've said this a million times, for the international market. It's amazing. It's really good for the markets that haven't had the game. But I think what Rudy sees, that I see and that you see, is like, if a store didn't take WTR Unlimited and didn't take Arcane Unlimited and didn't take Crew Unlimited, they're not like, why would they take this product now? And like, I think this could have been great for a year from now. And I think the goal of this product is just different than what really, honestly, I know the 2 of us, but the 3 of us probably think that it is going to end up being. So I don't know, that the key for me on there is like, man, like I would pretty much just kind of trust what Rudy says about something. Like if there's somebody, like you just said, 20 years of, I don't know, man, like 20 years.
Now, I love Rudy, but now you might have gone too far.
20 years of TCG experience and 20 years of, you know, I don't know. He hasn't been a star for 20 years. But.
So I love Rudy, but like Rudy understands tendies. He might understand tendies better than any TCG person to ever walk the planet other than Goat.
Well, Rudy also can create tendies other than Monarch First.
I want to talk about his 1,000+ boxes he bought.
I don't know, man. Like, so there's just a lot of things in that interview that were sad to me.
It was a very depressing interview.
And it made me
video.
It made me, it kind of encapsulated the entire last year of where we are with things in the US. And I don't think that the international crowd understands that because they don't have Channel Fireball. They don't have this gigantic being that is, I'm going to do a new, this is, I guess, the announcement of this. I'm going to do a new box opening series. So like Rudy got to say his piece about Channel Fireball, right? We have gotten to say our piece about Channel Fireball. We've gotten to express ourselves and really get into it. I want to give some of my patrons an opportunity to say what they want to say about Channel Fireball on the channel. So I'm going to do a box opening, and I got a bunch of Channel Fireball playmats. I'm going to do a box opening, and they get to write what they want, and I'll write it on the playmat for them for Channel Fireball.
I'm going to buy one. I'm buying one.
Send them the playmat.
It better not be patron only.
It is patron only. So that I'll write it for them on the playmat, whatever they want.
How do I buy one?
I'll do a box opening. So it'll be like a line, like I'll probably let them have up to 2 lines, and then the Channel Fireball logo.
Can I get one even though I'm not a patron?
No, this is for patrons only. Hop in. No. I just feel like everybody should have the opportunity to express themselves.
I agree.
And this was definitely a video when I was watching it. I was like, man, Rudy is really expressing himself. And I feel like we've really expressed ourselves. And I feel like people who got burned by this crap, who got completely hosed, should have the ability to express themselves. So we'll do like 10 of those. It'll be fun. I think I'll do Monarch First Edition box openings too.
Is it 1K?
No. It's whatever I paid for the playmat. I'm going to send them the playmat. Some people's giving the playmat for free. So it'll be, I don't know. We'll see what it is, but it'll be funny.
So the other thing that was interesting in Rudy's video is that he said that it might come soon that Europe is bigger than the US.
Ooh,
for Flesh and Blood.
Well,
go ahead.
I hope that's not true. Like name me another company a global company whose biggest market isn't United States. Like, or truly, like, isn't that a
BMW?
Okay, that's fair.
Mercedes-Benz. Airbus.
So cars. I'm just saying, like,
planes.
Fine. Name me another TCG market. I guess just like Force of Will is really big elsewhere, right? Like that's no. I thought that was a pretty big,
I have no idea.
I think
I don't know. Like I felt like
Pokemon. I guess
Pokemon. I feel like that might have been one of those things. That's like that newspaper article that they said they did $50 million in revenue in 6 months. It feels like one of those kinds of.
Have we done the math on how many Monarch First Edition boxes they did?
I did actually. It's 5 million. So unless they printed 10 times the amount of Monarch, 10 times the amount of everything else in 6 months. 6 months. That article seems a little bit inaccurate. It feels like that might be closer to this.
Isn't that the same article that said there were 20,000 professional players?
Do you think they're calling me fat? I didn't think of that before. It's a great point, Louis. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's a weird that's a weird
I'm skeptical of that one.
Well, here's the thing. I think it's weird if it's true. I don't know if that's good or bad. If it's good, if you're saying it's true, I think what you're really saying is like the US market's not growing as much as you want it to.
Well, that's obvious, right?
Well, but I'm just saying, like, if the European market is becoming your biggest market, that means that you've plateaued in the US market, which in my opinion is like, like that should be your biggest market, especially for a TCG.
Especially for freedom.
But I don't know. It seems like, that was an interesting one. I don't know how much we really get into it, but like, great for Europe. That's awesome. I like Europe. Aren't you going to France? Are we allowed to talk about that? Maybe?
Bienvenido.
I don't know what that means.
Hello.
Gotcha. Goodbye. All right. What else we got to talk about, Rudy? Last takes.
What?
No, go ahead.
I want to be candid. Like, I've had a complicated relationship with Rudy and Flesh and Blood, and that's not Rudy's fault. I like Rudy a lot. It drove me crazy that on Arcane First, he got these the things that were in the pre-release kits, and I got heavily allocated those pre-release kits as a store. That really bothered me when it was like, nobody wanted this game during Arcane First. Why am I getting allocated a pre-release kit?
Yeah,
come on, man.
Like, some of your customers weren't able to do the pre-release, right?
Yeah. I was like, come on. Like, there's like 20 people playing this game. 12 are in my store. Give me some kits.
Right.
And like Rudy got a bunch of them. Like, that bothered me. But like, I will say, like, I think there is a group of 5 of us who really helped Flesh and Blood become the card game it is. Rudy's the one that made it serious in the United States. I don't think my store would have had the success with Flesh and Blood if it weren't for Rudy. And that's not easy for me to say. Let me be very candid with you all.
I can see the humility battling with the pride right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, I got a lot of each, more than one than the other. We always took Flesh and Blood seriously as a store. I still do. Like, people are like, oh, your customers must, what do you must say all this stuff to your customers? No, stop it. Like, I tell my customers that if they're enjoying the game, I'm happy for them. This is easy. I want them. If my customer leaves happy, I leave happy. I'm easy. But like, I don't think we would have had the broad acceptance of becoming a Flesh and Blood dominated store if it weren't for Rudy. Because he told people it's okay. He gave people permission to cheat on Magic. He did.
Yeah.
He did. Like, that's the way people still view it in my store. Like, we get a couple hundred new kids every quarter at my store. That's the way my store worked. We're on a military base. And like, they all come in knowing Magic, and 1 or 2 might have heard of Flesh and Blood.
Right.
And I will bet you every one of the ones that have heard of Flesh and Blood heard about it through one person. And it's not Dr. Louie. Rudy.
I can't wait till that one person comes to your store and heard it from me. And
I will kick them out. I will kick them out. Get out. Yeah. Go to my competition.
Well, like, I think now, I'm not saying this about me, but I think now that there's a bunch of other content creators that people are seeing too. But at the time, it was just Rudy. Like, there was no content creator. I was like the first, like, only fab content creator. And it was like some of these like other content, obviously the other content creators were doing them in addition to their other stuff. But like, Rudy made those, every single one of us that is a fab content creator now, our number one other channel is not any of us, it's Rudy. I would venture to say that every other one of us, like, when you go on your analytics, it's that Rudy is the person that the other people are watching. And so
I mean, like, I don't know. Like, this, like, it bummed me out because, like, I will say what I think of. I am public about my thoughts on Rudy. Like, you made me call him an asshole.
I did not make you do that.
You did. You did.
You're welcome. You're welcome, everyone.
But like, I greatly respect him.
Yeah,
and 100%. I truly appreciate what he does for TCGs. And especially for Flesh and Blood. I think if he stopped carrying Metazoo tomorrow, which he won't, because Metazoo is amazing. But like, if he stopped carrying Metazoo tomorrow, I don't think the Metazoo market would be hit nearly as hard as like if he stopped carrying Flesh and Blood.
Yeah, no.
I greatly appreciate what he's done for Flesh and Blood, and I hope he knows that. And I say that as like somebody who like really took a risk on the game before him, frankly, but like he made that risk pay off for me in a way that I will always appreciate.
Well, here's the other side of this: is that a lot of people, especially the other countries, see Rudy as only an investment person and assume that his viewers are only investment minded. I can tell you multiple people in my Discord server, multiple people in my local who watch Rudy and play the game as a result of this is my story, initially being in this game as an investment and started playing, fell in love with the playing side of it. So like there's a lot of connection to the player base too, especially in the United States. I think that's something to say, is like, just because the game is going from and like, I hate this, but the game's going from collector to player base, we'll see what that means. I think this is maybe are you ready to move on to the next slide? Because this is a good transition to like the public's response to this. And this is where I think like the collectors, some people like the change in the box, but some people also feel like this change in the box is going to make it like, are we going to get new collectors? Are we going to get people who are excited about collecting as a result of this? So I don't know.
Listen, I don't think so, but I don't think that matters. Like, listen, this is easy, right? If the game survives for 10 years, Uprising will be collectible.
Yeah.
This isn't hard. Like, Monarch will one day be collectible if its game survives for 10 years. Maybe not Monarch, but Uprising probably. I mean, like, like, now that we'll Everfest, it's that's a joke. Maybe
depends on Unlimited or not. Hey, look, if Unlimited doesn't come out, Everfest will be the only first edition box without an Unlimited. Pump it, baby. I'm just saying.
Like, I think this is something I disagree with Rudy on. I think the new box makes sense. I don't think it solves your two problems, but I think the box is an improvement over the old box. You disagree?
I think the model of the box is an improvement over the old box.
Yeah.
It's an improvement over the old box. I think that the pull rate of the legendaries is still going to be an issue.
I completely agree with that. I don't think that's all.
But that being said,
before
I finish, I don't want to misquote anything. Like, it is increased because you have the same pull rate for the legendaries, and it might even be slightly higher. But then the cold foils are added onto that pull rate, so it is slightly increased in terms of pulling a legendary. I still think that like the core mechanic of this game is the legendaries, and if you don't pull a legendary from your box, it's still gonna feel really bad for a box. So I just feel like they're like that's still an issue. I don't know that you can ever fix that in Flesh and Blood. I think it's an intrinsic issue with. Well, you can print a bunch of them, but then the legendaries don't have value. So like I guess then the idea is just the cold foil ones do. Like there's a whole dynamic.
Bingo. This happened with Metazoo, right? You get a non-foil rare in every pack.
Right.
That's great. You can build a Metazoo deck for $15.
Right.
That's wonderful. That's great for players.
I think this is
somehow
also
their cards. Say it again.
I think this is also very important with the new white border set. I've already done a video that released sometime this week. You haven't seen it yet. It hasn't been put out yut. It hasn't been put out yet. I saw
your stupid spreadsheet you put in every stupid part of your Discord 18 times.
I put it in one part of my Discord.
You put it in 3 different sections of your stupid Discord.
That's not true. This is all false information.
No,
you're misquoting everything.
I will screenshot it, and when I learn how to upload it, you're in trouble.
Like we don't know, as of filming of this video, we don't know the pull rates are. But if the pull rates are not the like 1 in 36 packs, it's not going to actually make it cheaper for anybody to get the cards if you're looking at map pricing. And like I think that is what if I were LSS, what I would be looking at is if you buy a box, what is the price per legendary that's the pull rate, and how do we get that down to make it easier for people to get into the game? So I don't know, but I agree with what you're saying. The heart of what you're saying is in 10 years, all this stuff will still be collectible.
Yeah, like listen, the question is simple: does the game survive?
Yeah,
and does it grow? Right, a game can survive but not grow.
Force of Will,
Final Fantasy,
Force of Will,
all
is
these
scary.
things.
Force of Will is scary. The story on Force of Will is. So the story somebody was talking about, one of the feedbacks that I was talking to in my Discord server about some people were that they're like, Force of Will put the set out, and I guess like it bombed like super hard, and like boxes now are still like below, like $20 below what they cost stores, and it killed stores. Like it just killed stores' interest in the game, and that's to me the biggest fear of this kind of dynamic of putting all the eggs into one basket like this, where it kind of makes it like you have to do this like magic a little bit more, where you have to have some incredible power creep. You have to have some in order to make these boxes.
Flesh and Blood seems to be all in on power creep.
Oh, I get it. I know. I don't think I agree. Well, like I agree that that's the reality. I don't agree based on the conversation of that the playtesting issues because of COVID, and we can get into that if we want. But like based on that, I think that's not the desire. That's not the desire of the team.
How much playtesting did it take to think that Starvo is more powerful than Bravo?
I don't know. Everyone seemed to know instantly. Everyone seemed to know instantly.
I'm not a playtester. I put that one together.
Yeah.
I put that one together.
Sean knew instantly. Sean literally, like as Starvo was going on, actually before I saw Starvo actually announced, Sean messaged me and was like, "This is overpowered. This is
like I'm not saying it's overpowered. I'm saying it's more powerful." And look, let me be very clear here. I think power creep is fine. It's not what they said, but like if they came out tomorrow and said, "Hey, that was crazy talk. We're going to do some power creep every set," I wouldn't be like, "Oh my God. Oh, well, this is awful." I'd be like, "Yeah, every TCG does." Now you're just being honest about it.
Yeah.
Like they have to do power creep. That's
I think with a new set that doesn't have if it's not going to have the collectible side. And let me also say, some people are excited about the increased pull rates. Those people have a lot more money than me. Like the people who are there are people who are like, yes, now it's way more difficult for people to get cold foil fables. Yes, now it's way more difficult for people to get cold foil legendaries. So when I open my 300 boxes, it'll be way better for me. And like, man, like
if you're saying that, I need you to do me a favor this weekend. I need you to go look in the mirror and ask yourself who hurt you.
But like people feel that way.
They're true a-holes because like that is obnoxious.
My hottest
we should not be excited that others cannot afford what we do. That is not nice.
100% agree. My hottest Fab 2.0 take. This is it live for you. Nobody else has heard this. You were the first, George.
I'm honored.
Yeah. Is that this will be the end to the majority of people set collecting Flesh and Blood.
Yeah, thank you. That was like obviously. Thank you.
You're such a jerk. Because I think like there's still a good bit of people who are set collecting the new sets, but there is.
How many people do you know that set collected Everfest?
I myself haven't set collected Everfest.
I know of
there's still
people.
Some. There's more people than that. But
I'm not saying I know everybody who's done it. I said I
agree that it's gone lower. I agree that it's gotten lower since Monarch. I think a lot of people were set collecting Monarch. A lot of people. More people were set collecting Tales. Less people set collected Everfest. This seems like the nail in the coffin to me of people who really want to set collect, because they can't just open up. Previously you could open up 40 to 50 boxes, which mind you is still a lot of boxes for most people. A lot of people can only afford 2 boxes or 1 box, and like those are not the same. But the community previously was like, hey, we want to open up lots of boxes and have this experience of collecting and opening and set collecting. And I think for those people it's just like, now you can't do, like I can't afford to do it. Like I'm not going to be able to open 120 20 boxes to have that experience of opening up the whole set. That's not something that I can do.
You know what's
And
funny?
like
And
that seems like a loss to me. That seems like a loss to me.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, like, so that seems like for me, because I got involved when Crucible boxes were $70, $75. And for me, it was like a really exciting thing to be like, I'm early. Like, I'm early to this TCG. It's, I missed Magic the Gathering because I was an infant. But here I am now as an adult, a new card game came out, and I get to like experience this as a set collector. And I for me, the biggest loss with the first edition thing is that I think like that's going to be, it's too hard for people to get the cold foils now.
They can buy them.
They're going to be, well, it depends on what the price end up at.
I don't think we're going to see very pricey cards for a while.
That's the opposite of the point that I'm talking about feedback on 2.0 from the community. Opposite of the point that those people are making. So you think a cold foil, what do you think? A cold foil Fable from Everfest compared to a cold foil Fable from the new set?
What's the Everfest Fable going for right now?
Let's go $300. I don't know what it actually
is. It'll be $200 next time.
No way.
Yeah.
You have to open up 3 times as many boxes to get it.
Don't care. You think it's be more expensive? You think it's to be more expensive than Everfest? Cold foils?
I don't know. That was my initial thought. You think that there's gonna be so many more boxes opened?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I also I don't want to be mean about this. I was like, demand's gone down.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
Like, supply is one half of the equation, boys. The other half is demand.
I don't know if I agree with you on that. I gotta do some math in my brain. I gotta get a spreadsheet because the math in my brain's not gonna work out. Anyway, other feedback on 2.0 that we've seen.
I think stores are really confused. Like, it's funny. Like, that's been my new takeaway this week after talking to a bunch more stores. Is I think stores are like, where does this leave us? How do I handle this? And I've kind of told them this. Like, I don't like. To me, there's 3 kinds of stores with flesh and blood. One is like mine, where it's community focused. Like I take enough boxes, I can sell them all in store. I didn't sell a single box of Everfest online. That's not true. I sold like 12 boxes of Everfest online to friends. Like, I'm going to order the same amount roughly of Uprising as I did of Everfest. There's those that sold a ton online. They're going to get wrecked.
Yeah. As a result of what? The online retailers.
Uprising's going to open up at map.
Yeah.
It's going to. And like, Channel Fireball's going to get 1 billion boxes. They're going to dump it.
They're going to do map. They're going to give you a box of Everfest Unlimited.
Yeah, I mean, like, the online
that won't be out. That won't be out ever.
The online game for LGSs is over, at least in the short run.
Yeah.
Like, so maybe people who do incredible volume, like Mark Nolan, could do it still. But like, that's going to be it. Like, you're going to count on one hand the number of people who can really push boxes online.
That's what Elsis wants. Is that what Elsis wants? Do you think?
I have no idea. I mean, like, I don't think they thought that far about it, to be honest with you.
I know. See, like, I know a lot of people. Maybe this is just my Discord, who like their stores don't carry it. So like, they need their boxes online. They have to go 2 hours to a store to get it. So like, I think there will still be some. I kind of disagree. I think there will still be some demand online. The question is like, will those people still order?
I think wait. I think there will be demand online. It won't be met by LGS.
Won't be what?
It won't be met by LGSs.
What will be met by?
Channel Fireball, Team Covenant, Star City Games.
Yeah. If you're still ordering
Rudy
from Channel Fireball, why are you watching our podcast?
What? No, I want all the viewers. Welcome, John Sasso.
Like, I mean, like, come on. Like, I don't know.
Like, listen, man. Like, they're gonna give these. Like, they're giving away Everfest still.
Yeah. $80 map boxes minus a $15 gift card, and I don't know. You told me that there's a free grade attached to that.
No, it's gone. Now they took it away now.
Gotcha.
But I mean, like, listen, like, I don't like, if you want a $65 box of Everfest, go for it. I'm not going to be mad at you because you ordered from Channel Fireball. I don't blame Channel Fireball. I don't blame Channel Fireball. I don't. I know you and I disagree on this.
You called Rudy an asshole for what he was doing. You're not doing the same thing.
Wait, hold on now, boo boo. No. But like, listen, I blame the card companies, and it's plural card companies. Everybody listen to that before you put hate comments. I blame the card companies who gave Channel Fireball that power. Yeah. They did this to themselves.
Well, Magic has certainly done it. I mean,
Magic has done it, but Magic doesn't care because Magic is Magic.
Right. But they control the Magic market too. I mean, you can get a box of the new.
I don't think that's true at all. That is false.
You can get a box of the new Magic set with a Channel Fireball thing and a exclusive path. How many freaking Path to Exile?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Over $125 collector boosters on Amazon. What were you saying?
That's fair.
Jeff, my boy Jeffy B, the realist a-hole. He controls the Magic market.
That's fair. That's fair. Do you think that Channel Fireball feels about Amazon the way that stores feel about Channel Fireball?
I hope so. Every fiber in my being.
They don't even know what's going on in the Flesh and Blood world because they're so angry about the Magic world.
Right. That's right. I mean, like, I think companies that gave Channel Fireball this much power, that's who's to blame. It's not Channel Fireball.
And Magic just like double gets it because they gave Amazon more power than Channel.
Yeah, I mean, like, and I said this last time. I'd much rather Flesh and Blood give boxes to Jeffy B than Channel Fireball.
At least they're getting some of the cut,
huh?
At least they're getting some of the cut.
At least they're getting more. They're getting more money.
Yeah,
and like what the price will be sold at.
Yeah.
And you get easier fulfillment.
All right, it's been an hour. Let's move on. I'm sick of talking about Fab 2.0, to be honest. I've been talking about it all week. If there's anything else you wanted to say?
No, Louie.
I'm sorry. I'm just done. Like
no,
like,
baby.
I think at the end of this.
No.
I think at the end of this, like
grid is great.
I think at the end of this, my last takeaways is like I feel like this was where Rudy was. It's like, all right, let's see if it works. Yeah, I mean, like the.
So let me tell you what is working. J2 second print run.
Is it?
That is a transition. The grid is great.
Grid is great. J2.
That's also a great name.
J2, J Laura, second edition, print number
second
2.
Edition. The J Laura second edition squared is what we're calling it.
Isn't it the second print too, though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Second edition, second print.
Yeah. Okay.
J2 squared.
When's that coming out?
If you what?
When's that coming out?
It's out now. You can get it for your distro.
Oh.
Or from Assad. So if you are a fan of Genesis, of which all of you are, if you're listening to this podcast, go talk to your LGS and ask them to order you a couple boxes of J2. And I think, Louie, you have a couple bundles coming up for it when you come back home. Is that right?
I think we're gonna do some bundles with our I don't know when we get the Kickstarter stuff.
That's a while. We should do one now and one then.
Okay. We can talk about it. Yeah, for sure. We should have talked about this beforehand.
Louis gonna screw me.
I'm not gonna screw you. I'm okay with doing it. We just gotta like figure out what it is before we.
I just figured it out. Get a couple boxes and a stupid play mat. Boom, done, roasted. Yeah. So J2 second edition comes out. We're hyped.
Yeah. More importantly, I think the organized play kits come out.
Which I still don't have any, Assad. You're killing me.
Really? Because I just come on the mail.
The grid is no longer great. The grid is dead to me.
So I think this is a huge highlight where it's like, man, there's people who really love this game. We have some people playing our Discord server. I've got a couple people who enjoy it around me, and like they play mostly at their house. It's like a college group. But like what?
Go ahead. Origins gets it, man. Sorry, Origins. Genesis gets it, man. They get
Well,
it.
listen, this is why we added this grid is great thing, is because the nature of playing on a board game-esque mat. I know there's a lot of negatives to it, but there's also some huge positives to it. Really the only negative is you can't just like have a deck.
You got to carry a mat.
You have to have a mat, but like there's a lot of positives to it in terms of like everyone I talk to who loves board games. This is a great entry ramp to TCGs, and the transition. It's like a new customer. If you're an LGS and you're looking for new customers, which if you're not, then congrats. You must be George.
I like how I have more new customers than probably any LGS in America based on where my store is.
Yeah. But anyway, you don't have that issue. You just have them. You're just so good. I think this is a great opportunity for grid-based games like this to get some new customers as a result of board games. People come in looking for board games, and it's a great thing. So
I do want to warn customers, stores, patrons, lovers.
Okay.
That it is still some printing issues because they didn't fix the paper for the set. And that was disclosed and announced. They will fix the paper for Origins.
Oh, gotcha.
It was not fixed for J2.
Gotcha.
So the paper and the feel will be very different.
What's the change between print runs?
So, they fixed some of the errors and the foiling should be fixed.
Gotcha. Cool.
But the paper will still kind of. But like, listen, put it in sleeves. You don't care then. I never like.
Yeah,
I don't understand why people care about these things to me. I'm like, it's a fun game. Play it, sleeve it, shut up.
Yeah. I've got my alpha starter, and you got an alpha starter. And a beta box. I just got another beta box from where was that from? Not Sweden. I got a beta box in from where did it come? It came from one of the European countries. There's a lot of European Genesis players. It's crazy. The game, like I would love to know the story behind that. Assad, leave it in the comment section. I would love to know the story behind why.
Jordan's going to tell you the full story.
I want to hear from Assad, not Jordan.
I only want to hear from Jordan, the best podcast creator in America.
Wow. Yeah. So like it's really cool to see every time I talk about Genesis, somebody comments and says, "Hey, we love this here in Germany." I'm like, that's awesome. When I'm in Germany, let's play. I want to go to Germany to play Genesis. I'm going to add that to the bucket list.
You have a very weird bucket list.
Yeah. It's mostly just playing TCGs in other countries.
In Germany.
Germany.
I want to go see Chancellor Merkel and beat her in Genesis.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm stoked to get the Origin stuff. I'm kind of like in this mode where there's just so much other stuff going on. I've kind of like whenever I'm done talking about a Kickstarter, I just like, all right, we'll talk about that game. You know, when the Kickstarter actually gets here, we'll like up the content level on that game. So I'm excited to get back into Genesis when the Origin stuff gets here.
I'm still in Genesis just as much. I have not betrayed.
I'm just getting beta boxes. I'm just getting lots of beta boxes. I love. There's like only 500 or something like that. Like, yeah, awesome.
I have a few. I think I got 7 or 8.
Yeah, you're crazy. That might be one of the ones that I have almost as much as you in. You usually have 10 times as many. Usually, whenever George says a number, I'm like, all right, I just got to divide that by 10, and that's how many boxes I should get.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
And what?
You probably have similar numbers of Genesis Metazoo NFTs now.
No. I'm still buying. That's not true. I have enough Genesis.
May the Zoo be with you, brother.
All right, move on. You got to warn people about the NFT conversation. Let's move on.
Oh, welcome back if you hate NFTs. That was a quick 30-second diversion. I forget that people are weird. All right. I want to talk about one thing about New Capenna coming out soon that I love. Oh, go ahead, Louis.
I'm very excited about New Capenna.
Are you really? Why are you so excited?
I've got some insider information we'll talk about. Go ahead, give us your information.
No. No.
Give us your little info.
I am very excited for the 2 or 3 card sampler collector pack sampler that's in the
yes.
That's in the Commander decks.
Yeah, that is cool. That's a really
I think
cool
that's a really good move.
That's gonna give a lot of value. Actually, I should order more Commander decks from
I drastically increase my order. I usually get like, I think like 1,000 or so. I went to like 3,000.
I forgot that those were changed. I need to like get in touch with my
You're late,
distribution.
homie.
It's
You're
all right.
late, homie.
As are typical things for us, I'll just get them from you.
I am also a distributor.
by the way,
that's why I know it's so corrupt.
By the way, thank you for the case of Brilliant Stars and the case of Kamigawa Japanese.
Yeah, you're welcome, beautiful. Anything for you.
All right, you ready for your actual insider info? You might have the product, but I've got the insider info.
All right, give me the scoopies.
I don't know if I'm allowed to share this at all, but
correct. I'm glad to do this episode. You want to edit? There's
just going to be like a lot of people talking about things that are coming up, and in one of the new sets, it's either New Capenna or Quadmaster. So this might not be New Capenna, but there's going to be some signed sketch cards.
Oh, I knew that.
I think it's going to be Quadmasters is what the article talked about. I thought it was off the top of my head. I thought it was New Capenna.
Magic is becoming sports cards. This should not surprise anybody.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that's great. I think. Listen, all right, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Every card company should copy this.
Yeah.
Every card company should have serialized cards, signed cards, artist sketch cards. Every single game should look at what works at sports and say, how can I translate that over to my game? Because like I got news for every single one of you collectible card game owners. You are nothing compared to the smallest sports.
What about
WWE?
What about GOAT?
GOAT is GOAT. And he does this. He did the serialized cards. He did the limited edition gold. GOAT, put in some serialized cards, put in some signed cards, and I will guarantee you he will do that.
Magic doing this is massive. And I don't think that we're kind of seeing it with the neon ink card, the value of it. I'm still kicking myself for not buying. I almost bought one at $800. I think I was on the phone with you.
You were.
You were not to.
You were absolutely. I'll take the heat on this one. That's absolutely on me. I was like, cards always go down after release day.
You're such a jerk. There were two of them on TCG Player. One of them was $800. One of them was $1,600. I was like, if I buy the $800 one, somebody will buy the $1,600 one, and then I'll have gotten in. I would never sell it because I never sell anything, but I would trade it for Pokemon is what I would do. That's what I do with that.
I know that's true. Yeah. I know for a fact that's true.
So I've been I love Pokemon right now. Somebody left a comment on a video that was like, Louis just bounces from card game to card game. And it's like not entirely false.
Somebody told me the nicest comment I've ever heard about our podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
They told us we were the Inside the NBA, which is this great thing on TNT where they discuss basketball, but they're also just like a bunch of people who joke nonstop. Like, you guys are like the Inside the NBA of TCGs. Like, oh, that's like the nicest thing literally anybody's ever said to me.
I don't know what that is. I've never watched it.
I know, but like the three sports fans who watch this, they will, and they'll know that's awesome.
I missed my intro. I wanted to say that I was in California to meet up with Logan Paul for something later on the
Who's in Puerto Rico. Literally, you are much closer now.
He's in Puerto Rico. Like there isn't any Monarch Unlimited or Everfest Unlimited.
I think he's actually in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and there actually isn't any Everfest. He's in
I have no idea what you're saying right now. I just want to make sure you're aware.
He's in Puerto Rico just for taxes.
Yeah, but I think he also like legit lives there now.
Okay. Anyway,
Logan Paul, write in the comments below where you live.
I guess I'll ask him this weekend when I'm hanging out. I don't know. Like I don't know why the Logan Paul thing is such a thing on this podcast.
Because of you.
Literally. I know, like I don't actually want to like. It's not like I never liked Logan Paul. I never listened to Logan Paul until I started listening to the podcast recently, and I'm just like, it's a joke on the podcast more than it is anything. But I just wanted to put that out there. I don't have like this infatuation with Logan Paul. Like Georgia's infatuation with the GOAT. All right, let's switch over.
That's fair. That's maybe I have a legit infatuation with the GOAT. My wife today, I was opening Metazoo with my wife.
I don't want to talk about this.
And she was like, "Why do you save all of the cards of GOAT of like the token GOAT cards? Why do you save them all?" I'm like, "Why is that weird?"
That's weird. That's weird. Okay, I'm just giving you.
I will have the largest collection of GOAT tokens of anybody in America.
Yeah, but do you have one of the numbered serialized tops cards?
No.
You need to get one.
I do.
Now
I
you
do.
need to
That's
get
fair.
one. Everyone send George your trades. Okay.
I got Monarch.
Part 5, skateboard to George's event. Let's pump your event.
Okay, pump my event.
All right.
No, go ahead.
May 7th.
Go ahead.
May 7th. George
May
is hosting...
7th. I am hosting the best.
Is that Star Wars Day?
That's May the 4th.
That's May 4th. Dang it. Gosh. That's on a podcast for the entire world to see, that stupidity of my brain.
Not the first time, won't be the last time. May 7th, Compete
Dang
Sport
it. Can we
is
edit
hosting.
this? Who edits this? Editor, cut.
Mother of God.
I'm not actually editing that.
I know that. Compete Sport is hosting the greatest Metazoo game tournament ever. Ever.
$251,000 prize pool.
No.
That's what you told me.
No. We will have thousands of dollars in prizes, though.
$251,000 worth of prize support.
That is not true. Don't listen to Louis and expect money. You are going to get, there's going to be 2 events. There's going to be a Learn to Play event hosted by Louis, who will be there.
I might be there. Might with an M. I still haven't talked to my wife about it.
I talked to her today. She said it's fine.
Okay. If that's true, then I'll be here.
Great. Just don't confirm it. Just assume it's true. And the second event is a Metazoo tournament done by Compete Sport and the Caster Society.
And Kitchen Table TCG, whether I'm there or not. It'll be streamed
Not
whether
accurate.
I'm there or not.
We will decide if he's
whether I'm not there. Whether I'm there or not, it'll be streamed. I just put my name on it.
I noticed.
I heard it's the largest prize pool of any tournament in the United States.
I'm putting in thousands and thousands of dollars of prize support.
Yeah.
It will be a free event, and if you show up to Learn to Play, you will get a free you'll get a free release event deck.
Awesome.
Free, totally free.
And this qualifies you for the actual $250,000
for the $250,000 tournament.
But it's more prize support than that one.
What?
Sorry, I'm on this whole like.
I noticed.
I'm on it. I gotta stop. I gotta let go of it. I'm out. Continue pumping your event.
I just want you to come and learn to play the zoo and love the zoo. So if you come to Learn to Play, you get free everything you need to learn. Everything you need to learn to play the game. Yeah. You're going to be taken care of.
You don't need to have any cards. You can just show up. And
just show up, and like I'm going to give away a bunch of play mats that I'm having made for the event. I might have a couple special deck boxes. I'm going to have a bunch of cool stuff. Lauren doesn't like the play mats. Lauren is not invited, by the way. I'm sorry, Lauren. But everybody else loved it.
Lauren's on her date tonight that we were giving her advice for.
Well, all right. I'm not going to share my advice. I'm not going to share my advice.
No,
it was too good.
It was good.
It was about Metazoo. That's true. Shout out to Lauren. And so yeah, show up. You're gonna get a play mat and some stuff. You're gonna get an event release deck. You're gonna get a bunch of free stuff. Learn to play. If you're competitive, wonderful. We're gonna have a box of Cryptic Nation First Edition to give away to the winner of the tournament.
Wow.
We're gonna have a bunch of signed items to give away at the tournament. Some of it will be to the top 8. Some of it will be random. Some of it will be to the bottom 4. Some will be who uses the fourth wall effect the best. We have a bunch of cool prizes, totally free. May 7th, Compete Sport, Charleston, South Carolina. Get your plane tickets, get your bus fare, come on down, have the time of your life.
You're
great. In the comment section below, goat if you're coming.
You're such a great salesperson.
I'm excited about this event. I'm legit excited about this event.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be great.
I mean, you know what? No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I'm getting the same vibes that I got when I hosted my first major Fab tournament. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah,
I feel excited about it. I'm pumped about it. My customers are gonna love it. I have probably a dozen and a half diehard Metazoo players already. About half of them want to qualify. This takes care of them. I am super pumped for this event. Shout out to Caster Society for helping me. They're amazing. Shout out to Goat. He is amazing. This is going to be awesome.
Great.
The zoo is with me. The zoo is with me.
This is great because I get messages all the time asking, Haley, do you know of any sanctioned events where you can qualify for the 250K? And this is awesome. This is one of them. And more people need to be doing this.
And Arts is coming to it.
Oh, wow. I'm in.
Art said he's going to give away his most expensive NFT, warning, to the winner. He did not say that.
He did not say that, or he didn't say warning?
You did not say that.
You're just calling out. You're just making things up.
Yeah.
Classic.
You know what? Maybe you'll give away an NFT.
You should have an... Okay, do it.
I'm going to think about it. I'm not promising that yet, but I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. All right.
Come down May 7th. I'm serious. I'm going to have I'm going to have free pizza for everybody. You can get fat. You can get fat. You can get fat like Louis. And like
I thought we were through that.
No. And like you can get free pizza. We're going to have it's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great.
Cool. Skateboard.
Oh gosh. No, not yet. If you never mind. Go ahead. Yeah, skateboard.
If you what? If you skateboard there, what do you get?
If you come in wearing a May the Zoo Be With You t-shirt, I will have a special prize for you.
You better order it soon.
I get nothing out of the May the Zoo Be With You t-shirts. Louis steals all the money, but I will still give you something for free.
I get like $1.
I get nothing, despite carrying this podcast on my back like a Sherpa.
Love it. MayTheZooBeWithYou.com for your May the Zoo Be With You.
Which I own as confirmed.
Dang it. I'm so offended that you own that too. I'm so frustrated by that.
May the Zoo Be With You, MetaZooStore.com, FleshAndBlood.com. That's all you got to know, baby.
George is the owner of the greatest domains in the universe.
And I don't know how to use them.
Yeah, I definitely know. I think I have the login to whatever thing is emailing you. So I think I can transfer it to me if I really want to.
That's absolutely true.
I think I paid for it with my card. It's
that part's not true.
Anyway, cool. Skateboards were cool. I didn't get one, but I'm gonna trade for one eventually.
They look all.
I was so excited. This is a true story. I was so excited. I was watching the video like the night before. I was like, all right, tomorrow my day's gonna go like this. I'm gonna, my daughter usually watches TV around noon, so I was like, my daughter's gonna be watching TV, getting ready for her nap. I'm gonna be there, and then like we dummy here shipped like $1,500 worth of outdoor furniture to my old house. And so like I left at like 10 a.m. to try to figure that out, and it was like 1:30, and I was in Home Depot, and somebody was like, oh my gosh, they're going for $500 on eBay already. I was like, oh my gosh, I missed the freaking drop. I was so angry. So I missed the drop.
This is the second big drop in a row that sold out instantly, right? MaxCast sold it very quickly. This one sold out instantly. This one's pretty good. Things are hot. Metazoo's hot. That's goat's goat. Here's my takeaway.
Boxes of Wilderness are still getting scooped up on TCG Player. There's still stores like putting them low, but like the volume sold is still super high, which is a good sign.
For me, the skateboards to me were like very telling. They have solidified themselves as a brand that's like a lifestyle brand in my view, as well as a TCG brand, which is good for them coming out with their TV show and their game soon.
I said this on a video earlier this week. The TV show and game are, people don't understand how big that can be for this. I'm not saying like first edition boxes are going to go to 10K as a result of it or anything like that. I'm saying let me back up. The volume, like I don't think we ever got to witness in a public way the demand for Metazoo, because there were never boxes on the market, right? Like Nightfall, we never saw $100 boxes of Nightfall on the market. You never saw the amount of TCG player sales that happened because Nightfall instantly sold out. Like I saw the demand personally. I did, because I put up my stuff on my website and it sold out in under 2 minutes. Like I had patrons quit my Patreon. I don't have that many patrons because they couldn't get Nightfall at the price, right? Like because all my waves sold out instantly. but now we're seeing the actual like volumes of the product being added to the market, which I think is really cool to see. I don't think people understand like the volume, the additional market volume that comes from having a TV show and a video game and that kind of marketing. It's not really marketing, I guess it's another product technically, but like that marketing is huge, and I think I'm really excited. I think we're having Mike on in a couple, not this episode, but maybe next week's episode. I can't remember where we scheduled it.
Go.
I'm really excited to talk to him about marketing and how he thinks those things are going to really help propel the game. I think that's going to be really interesting. So
yeah, I mean, like, I think Metazoo, like, I want everything Metazoo. I have every Metazoo shirt. I have everything Metazoo everything. And I don't even wear them. It's like I like to own them.
I packed for California. I packed 3 Metazoo shirts because my kids love them. I love them, but like I have that stupid smiley. You know that stupid smiley shirt that I bought to make fun of you on the podcast, like episode 8. Like we didn't even know each other. My daughter goes into my closet like every 2 days. She goes in the closet. She's like, "Daddy, wear the happy shirt." I never wear it because
I'm not that
like,
happy.
I'm like, no, kid. No, really.
I'm not happy. Leave me alone. Let me tell you about Fab 2.0.
Wow. I hate collared shirts. So anyway,
I like. Let me be very clear. If Metazoo ever made a Hawaiian shirt, that's all I would ever wear. I'd order 10, and I'd never wear anything.
Oh yeah, I forgot that you don't wear anything other than.
He has to make fat sizes too. He can't make kid shoes and skinny sizes and expect me to wear either.
You lost a lot of weight. You're on a diet too. You're taking a page from my book.
I'm miserable.
I'm not on a diet.
My
favorite thing to do, everyone, is when I'm on the phone with George and be like,
he's a terrible friend.
I'm going to Taco Bell. I'm going to Taco Bell. You want anything? It's so funny. When I was in Nashville, I sent him a picture.
That's true. This is all true. This is all true.
I'm like out at Nashville, and mind you, nobody in my party at Nashville drinks. Like my wife will have like 1 or 2 drinks at night, and the other couple doesn't drink at all. So we're like going bar to bar in Nashville. We're like going bar to bar for the music in Nashville, and they want to sit at the bar. So of course, like I have to be the one that orders a drink to. Like it was a terrible experience for everyone. Anyway, and I was like, went out of my way. We're like going bar to bar. I was like, I have to go over here, guys. And I had to take a picture of the Taco Bell sign just because I knew that it was still like around dinner time for you and it would aggravate you. so
it did. All I want to eat is Taco Bell. That's all I want.
Oh, it was so great. And it made the whole trip. It was great.
I'm glad I could help you.
Yeah.
I
agree. Like the streetwear, the branding of Metazoo. That's what's
those backpacks. He needs to put a fire warning on those things. They are fuego.
I got 2 of them. Did they do wilderness ones? I think I missed that drop too.
I'm buying the daylights of that rainbow dragon one.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I missed that whole drop.
Oh,
I miss all the Metazoo drops because I'm always busy doing something when it drops. Like I just can't keep up with it. I can't physically keep up with like which is great because I know like not everybody wants everything. Like you're like I don't know. I think you're an abnormality, but like
that's definitely true.
The cool thing is like for people who love collecting skateboards. Like I used to skateboard. I don't know if you knew this about me.
I did. I heard the whole Tony Hawk spiel.
Oh yeah, that was last week's episode. God, I love Tony Hawk. Guys, if you have not watched that thing after this podcast, after you hit the like and subscribe button, go and watch the Tony Hawk. Have you watched it yet? It's really good.
No.
It's really good. And like you don't even have to be a skateboard fan. Do you remember when he landed the 900?
No.
Okay, never mind. Great content. Anyway, but for people who love skateboards, it's really cool to have a Metazoo skateboard on your wall or even as a deck. Like I know some people probably won't actually use them. That's like a thing in skateboarding, is collecting skateboarding. And you know what's funny?
What?
This is a bone I have to pick with TCG players. People collect skateboards. Like they collect skateboard decks. They put them on their wall. And
Sure.
I have never heard anybody be like, why don't you just skate with that thing? Why don't you just put the wheels on it and skateboard? You're a terrible person for collecting a skateboard. Like it's like the TCG world's so funny.
Were people saying that?
No, people say that about trading card games. They're like, why don't you just play with that card? You know, that card's meant to be played. I want to break my alpha heart out of the case and put it into a deck. Okay, continue. It just drives me nuts. Like that was one of the things that I thought, it drives me nuts. And that's one of the things I thought about with this drop is like, man, I've never heard a skateboarder complain about somebody else collecting skateboards. Why is that something that we do in the TCG world?
One of the big artists who helped me with ALS a lot, he has a skateboard. He gave me a couple of like one-on-one skateboards that he did. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. That's sweet. All right. Are we done?
We've been done.
I have to leave for a flight in 6 hours.
4 hours. I think it's less.
No, the flight leaves at...
No, you're right. You're right.
It's like 7 hours. But anyway...
This was a great, very early episode. Whatever happened this week, you will not hear about it here. That is the takeaway of this podcast.
Hopefully, like, listen, Fab does this thing where they just like vomit out information and then they don't talk for like 3 months. So I'm anticipating that will be the case.
That's absolutely going to be the case.
And then Metazoo will probably have, I don't know,
85,000 releases this week.
85 different releases and products, and you know, we won't keep up with it.
They're going to announce 15 new sets and 12 new marketing plans.
Yeah. All right. Hope you guys have yourself a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to the people around you, and may the zoo be with you.
And also with you. Have a safe travel. Yeah.
Don't forget to grab your not you, George. Don't forget to grab your t-shirt at maythezoobewithyou.com and go to George's event. George, is there anywhere they can sign up for your event yet?
Not yet. You know what? Screw that. By the time you read this, yes, I will put that commitment out there.
I am not going to be able to help you with this. I will be on
I don't need your help. I don't need your help. You're useless. Go to metazoostore.com. It will be sign up there.
We'll leave a link in the comment section where you can actually sign up for that.
Metazoostore.com.
Okay. Have a great day, everyone.